Hi everyone, my name's Sophia,
My name is Hank.
and welcome to You Know Me So Well. Today we're gonna be talking about validation, but before we do that, we're gonna do a little story time. So I woke up at 1 a.m. I went to bed at like 8, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, so I woke up at 1 a.m. and after wandering around a little investigating, I came back to bed and Hank woke up and somehow somehow, some way, we ended up listening to trap remixes of children's songs, like the Barney theme song and stuff like that, while waiting for chicken tenders to be delivered because I insisted that I wanted chicken tenders at this point it was like 2 a.m. And now we have a lot of chicken tenders in my fridge because they came and we didn't eat it. We just went back to bed.
We were
So
asleep by the time they got here.
yeah, wait, didn't you wake up though?
Yeah, I set my alarm.
Yeah, Hank, we were like we were like falling asleep to the Barney theme song, the trap remix of it. And Hank was like, "Well, the chicken tenders are like on the way." And so he was like, "I'll just set an alarm and wake up when it gets delivered." So he did. And then we went back to sleep. So yeah, that's our story. Anyways, today we're talking about validation. I feel like we're constantly seeking validation from external sources. When I was in high school, like I feel like I was mainly seeking out academic validation, and of course I enjoyed doing well in school and like all that, but I was doing it for my parents to a large degree. I guess also to like impress other people like teachers and I don't know, like friends and stuff like that. And then also the biggest one, I think, especially towards the end, was just trying to get into a good college. And so I was obviously trying to do well so that all the college admission officers that would come across my case, would be like, oh, wow, look at her go. Even though there were so many smart people who, you know, like in that sense, I don't think I was that unique. And then I think for like actions, like when we do stuff, I feel like we seek validation from people too. We want people to tell us like we're doing a good job. Then of course there's like professional validation. Obviously, we want to do well in our professional careers, whatever that is. Try and move up, for us, like having a podcast, even though it hasn't actually launched yet, but once it
Two
does,
days.
2 days,
Yeah.
so exciting. But once it does launch, I feel like we'll probably seek a lot of validation from like analytics, like who's watching. We already apparently have 5 downloads on our.
Introduction episode. Shout out two people from Miami and two people from Pakistan.
Yeah,
So
I don't know what that's about. But yeah, like obviously, like viewership and I don't know, listenership will be like important to us and we'll seek validation through that. And it, might get discouraging if we don't like hit like a specific quota or if like it's not doing very well, that kind of stuff. So yeah, I feel like we're constantly like seeking validation from external sources. And whatever is important in our lives at the time, then like our actions, like we do stuff and many times we do stuff to seek validation from, again, parents, friends, maybe like a significant other, whoever it is that's like important to us or maybe not even important to us. We're seeking validation from them. I feel like in a way, like I feel like I can be really authentic when I'm around Hank, and yet I feel like I'm always kind of peering over my shoulder to see his reaction to like what I'm doing, just to make sure that like I feel like if he was like, "No, don't do that," I'd be like, "Oh, okay, fine, I'm not gonna do it." Um, so that's, like external validation. And then, I mean, the biggest thing now is like social media. Like not only are we seeking validation from people that are close to us, we're also seeking validation from people who we aren't close to or we don't even know. Like many times people post things and like on TikTok, you post things and you want to be on the For You page and you want random people to find your video and comment and like and you're seeking that validation. I feel like when you post on Instagram or TikTok, especially like I feel like I try and be better about this, but like, everyone's posting generally is posting their best moments and they're doing that to get comments, get likes, have people tell them they look good, or that they have a cool life or whatever it is. And I feel like it gets really discouraging sometimes when, like, I feel like, sometimes like you'll post something and you're like, this is it. Like, I look so good in this. And you won't get as many likes as you usually do, or as many likes as you expected to get. Maybe there's certain people who don't comment who, usually would comment, or who you want to like you want them to comment on your post. And then it just gets really discouraging and you're like, why? Like, did I not look hot enough? Like, what's going on here? Maybe there's like you're posting for like a specific person, you like someone and you're like, I'm gonna post this and I want him to like swipe up on my story and he doesn't. And you're like, what is going on here? So I feel like we're just constantly seeking external validation. Oh, the other one is attractiveness. I used to get all of my validation from men. I like kept trying to convince myself that it was all internal validation, and that like the guys like commenting on how I look or whatever it was just like kind of second to that. But truthfully, like, yeah, I grew a lot of confidence. And I think that like having that external validation, not just from guys, but also like friends, telling me I was pretty, like all that. And like there was some internal validation in there, but it was mainly external. Like all that helped me build a ton of confidence. But then when I started dating Hank, I no longer, you know, was like seeking validation from like these guys. I kind of just like reeled it in. And so obviously at this point now it's like instead of having, I don't know, like 30 guys like being like, you look so good, like every time I posted like a snap story or something like that, I had one guy, and like one guy can't do what 30 guys can do. So you kind of learn, like, it was sort of like starting from scratch on like being confident in myself. And I think the first couple of months of us dating was really difficult for me because I just did not have that like basis of like internal validation slash confidence, like in the attraction area or like looks, attractiveness area, whatever it is. And so, yeah, like I think I rarely looked at myself in the mirror. Like I didn't ever think I really looked good. Like it it was really weird. But now it's been a while and I've slowly been able to like regain the confidence I once had, but this time it's more internal than external. Because I'm gonna be honest, when Hank gives me compliments, like I don't really think it does anything. Like I mean, they're nice, but it's not like I'm like, oh my gosh, he just complimented me. I feel like the hottest girl on this planet Earth. Like, no, it's like my own personal, like, I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, wow, I look really good today. Back in like October, November, I was like really riding this confidence high, and like practically every day I'd text Hank and I'm like, I'm so hot. Like, I look so good. Like you're so lucky. Um so yeah, so like as nice as like external validation is, there's just something about being able to generate that yourself and to feel good about yourself. Oh, another thing about like posting on social media, like you also have like the validation in like the professional sector, LinkedIn. I spend a lot of time on LinkedIn and it's great. It's really difficult seeing like all these people achieve stuff and you're like, oh my God, I feel so behind. But also, like when you have something new, I feel like people generally post it and they not only like add it to their profile, they generally post it onto, I don't know what it's called, like the board, like whatever the main like feed is, and you'll see it pop up. And recently I added my current, like I'm an independent contractor for Procter and Gamble, and like I feel like a really cool position. It's probably my best position yet. And I didn't mean to post it to the feed, but it did. And of course, I had a couple people like comment on it and they were like, this is incredible, like rock star, like whatever, right? And I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, I mean, I guess like in a way, when I posted it, I was thinking like, oh, people are going to see this. They're going to come across my profile and they're going to see this and they're going to be like, that's so cool. So that was like another way of seeking external validation. But I will say, like, it is really nice to have internal validation. And I think we just don't do it enough. I just feel like it's time to start being proud of your accomplishments and who you are as a person and things you've done, no matter how big or small they are. For me, like, recently I've been starting to get very proud of like how far I've come in like my professional development and personal development, of course. Like I feel like we're pretty proud of this podcast. Like, and it's not someone saying like, "Oh my gosh, good job for doing that." It's me, myself, my mind going, "Wow, like I'm really doing something here. Like this is exciting." And I'm like proud of myself. And I feel like it's really nice to hear when, other people are like, "Oh, I'm proud of you." But you need to like start telling yourself that you're proud of yourself for whatever it is, small things. Oh my God, I got up this morning, like, yay me, good job. I put myself out there. I got this internship or I got this job. I look really good today. Like just feel yourself more, Like be nice to yourself. And that will bring a ton of confidence and it'll also let you really enjoy what you're doing and move away from seeking validation from those external sources. I feel like there's always going to be like some of that, you're always going to want someone like, saying something. Well, I don't know. There might be people out there who've like achieved total satisfaction with who they are as people and need absolutely no external validation. But I feel like there's always going to be some of that. But like if you can really try and have the majority of the validation that's like provided to you be from yourself, you can do so many amazing things. And I think it also just like makes you doubt less. Like it makes you more confident. It makes you more like willing to do things, I guess. I don't know which way to put it, but I think it's just a really great thing. So, I don't know, go look in the mirror and tell yourself you're gorgeous, beautiful, slaying, amazing.
The power of the tongue is too important.
Yeah, Hank talks about that a lot. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I talk a lot about, just kind of speaking out loud, kind of putting into the universe that you're going to be able to accomplish what you want to accomplish, only saying positive things about yourself. And I don't know, maybe it's just me being too in my head about it, but I genuinely believe it's a very powerful thing to kind of get those thoughts in your mind and help you achieve them and help you get to that spot. And so I think, like you were saying, it's very important to, of course, when you get validation from others, it's going to feel good. And like that's completely natural to want some from others. But I think it's very easy to place all of your validation on getting it from others. And that's when it starts to become an issue because there's going to be times where maybe people just don't like something the way you like something, or people just aren't going to say something when you expect them to. And that will take a really big toll on you. So it's very important to kind of just make sure you know and you're talking to yourself in a positive way and making sure you're giving yourself the validation that you deserve. And like I know, and even with internal validation, it's really easy to kind of place it all into one thing. Like I know there have been a lot of times in my life where I'll place all my internal validation on like working out. And if I fail to get better one week, it like completely shatters my like self-confidence, like the way I feel about myself. But realistically, there's a lot of other things going on in life. You can't tie it all to one thing. You just need to be proud of yourself and what you're doing. And also, at times, you're going to fail no matter what you're doing as well. And if you fail, you need to just kind of take a step back and look at it and think, okay, I may have failed this week or today, but look at how far I've come from the beginning. There's always a way to gas yourself up. There's never a need to talk down or negatively on yourself.
Y- Yeah, I think introspection is really important because sometimes it's you think that you have like so much more to go towards something, whether that's like really feeling confident in your body or, like your professional development or whatever it is. But if you can just like take a look back and see where you are now and see where you were like maybe a year ago or a couple years ago and just think about like what you wanted for yourself back then and what you've achieved now, like it does crazy things for you. It's like so surreal.
Right, like take a step back and think, okay, a couple years ago, I probably would have killed to be in this position that I am in now. So, never take it for granted. There's always something to be proud of about yourself. If you're talking down on yourself, stop. Say something positive.
Be
Go,
nice.
yeah, go look in the mirror and say something positive about yourself. It may sound stupid, but
And
it
yeah,
helps.
if you want to, like, you can do one regarding maybe like your physical manner,
Right.
and then do one about, I don't know, like your something more internal. So something external, something internal about yourself. Oh, another really great thing is affirmations. I don't do these now that much, besides telling Hank that I'm gorgeous, beautiful, and amazing. At some point in my life, I like recorded a list of affirmations, and every morning, the first thing I would do when I would wake up, I would grab my phone and I'd listen to the affirmations, and then I would repeat them back to myself, and then I would do whatever else I had to do. And I think that really helped me build confidence as well. And it wasn't just like, oh, like I'm pretty, like I look good, blah, blah. It was also like like I'm achieving things. Like I don't remember what the list was, but there was, it was a good mix of stuff. So it's worth trying, you know. It doesn't take like it'll take you like 5 minutes, 5, 10 minutes to do it, and then you can play it for the rest of your life if you need to. Like, do the small things for yourself because they will really help you. I want to talk about confidence in a different episode, but just to touch on it, like just doing the small things and maybe creating a routine out of them, like that can really boost your confidence. So do it.
Yeah, I mean, do you have anything else to say?
I don't think so.
All right, that's all I
Um,
had to say.
this is your sign to be nice to yourself. Wait, we should do an affirmation. Hank, do an
An
affirmation.
affirmation. You do one because I'm not 100% sure what affirmations.
Okay. Affirmation. I am successful.
I am very strong mentally and physically.
Slide.
Slade.
Your turn.
We're waiting.
We're waiting.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
I think that's it for us on this episode. Thank you for listening,
Thank you.
and we'll see you next week.
Ah, bye.
Bye.